All right, so thank you again, ladies, for joining us. I am so excited to finally be doing this at a time that works for me. I have done nighttime calls, I've done daytime calls. I used to do, I think it was back when my number four, or no, my number three was, my number four was born, and it was the same thing, like the lack of sleep. So doing this at noon works for me. We're going to have it recorded so everybody still gets an opportunity to listen in. My goal really is to bring us together and to talk about things that are working and that are not working based on what I'm hearing from you guys and other coaches in the organization. Um, and today I really want to help you guys simplify from what I'm hearing from you guys, kind of what I'm just observing and seeing people do. I want to bring you back down and help you really come down to the basics. I know a lot of you wonder where you should begin as newer coaches. Some of you have been coaches for a while. There's a couple of you that are just like, more than one of you on this call have said, I feel like I don't even know where to begin again. Like I'm starting all over again, and that's okay. You literally are starting as a new coach again. So you could be thinking about a blog, a Facebook page, Instagram page, Pinterest. It's kind of natural when you're entrepreneur minded that you want to like figure out where can you get in, where can you get that cutting edge. You could be watching some of the top coaches and looking for clues that things that they're doing that's helping them have success. You may be watching me and taking notes and wondering if you should be creating a team name. Should you be starting a blog? Rebecca has a blog. Should I be starting that? Well, let me just let you guys know. I don't think my blog has ever generated a direct income for me. There's nothing on there to buy. I think I have 10-day challenges on there. And I've only sold through that if I've given people the direct link through my website. So it's not to say that you can't do that, but I don't want you to think that I got where I am through running a blog. I love my blog, number one, because I enjoy writing. And so it's kind of, good for me, but I love, like, I'll write stuff that I can reuse over again. If I have a blog that's about, not eating enough and that preventing you from losing weight because you're not actually eating enough. And that's something I can go back and reuse. I don't have to keep telling people. So, if you want to do blogs, do it because you love it, not because you think it's going to generate a ton of income for you. Though it could. I just maybe not good at it. So you're watching all of these people, you've got all these ideas, and so I kind of want to just bring it down for you guys and help you find a level ground in what's going to work for you. So over the years, I've seen a few common problems with coaches, and I want to talk about a couple of those today, and hopefully get all of you onto a path of simplification and get your minds rolling and coming up with ideas, but not ideas that are off the wall, ideas on how you can simplify and get your business moving. Because I'm pretty sure that all of us on this call have very limited time. We're moms, we may have jobs, we have outside things that we're responsible for. So the last thing we want to do is spend a ton of time on our business. And also we want to show people we want to be duplicable. So we want to show people coming into this it is something that they can do. And the first thing I want to talk about with you guys is don't believe the hype. You are going to hear hyped up stories about how this business is built, the secret sauce to success, how it's found on this call or this webinar or this retreat, and we have this amazing speaker and this training. And I think we all feel this need to try, all of these secret sauces until we find out that really there is no secret. It really does come down to the 3 vital behaviors and doing them consistently over a long period of time, not in a week, not in a month, sometimes not even in a year. So again, I feel like a broken record, but are you doing your workouts? Are you drinking your Shakeology? Are you doing your personal development? And then the 4th vital behavior, you may have heard Carl Deichler talk about this, is recognition. And I love this one because, hold on one second, mute everyone. Okay. So I love this one of recognition because I kind of added my own fourth. Wait a minute. You can still hear me, right? Okay, making sure I didn't mute myself. I kind of added in my fourth vital behavior of adding value to others. And I really pulled that from what we've been learning through John Maxwell. And the truth is, recognition and learning to add value to others really go hand in hand. Because, just to kind of be clear on what recognition is, I remember this topic came up in The Wall. The Wall is a group with 5-star coaches and above, and I think it was Jeff Hill asked, if we could add a fourth vital behavior, what would it be? And Carl, at this point, Carl had already said, recognition, but it was not official. But a lot of people said, no, not recognition because, well, not a lot, but a couple of people said not recognition because we want vital behaviors to be something a brand new coach, day one, coming out of the gate as a, doesn't know anything about the business. This should be something that they can do. Well, recognition, that to me tells me that they were thinking, I need to recognize my coach for hitting Success Club. And recognition is so much more than that. I mean, it could be recognizing a friend on Facebook who ran their first 5K, a new customer who held plank for 60 seconds for the first time. Maybe if nothing fitness related at all. Maybe you saw a friend or a friend told you that, that she just got a new job. She just graduated college, whatever. Like, bringing that out and showing public recognition for that person and honoring them is a way to add tremendous value to people. And what you're doing is building up another person. You're giving them confidence. And it's not just limited to your coaches. So literally anyone can do this. Even if you have no coaches or customers. So look for ways. I want you to think about that today and maybe do it once a day. Think about, it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys heard the call with Lindsay Katarina, but she was talking about starting a gratitude journal and listing 10 things that you're grateful for each day. Well, I kind of challenge you to do this. Look for ways that you can recognize people because it really, think about how you feel when people, kind of recognize you. Here comes, can you guys hear that? Maybe nap time nuggets isn't working. I never give up though, right? So something I was thinking about as I was putting this together is I recently, my second grade teacher had, friend requested me, and we had not talked in years. When I left second grade, she had actually gone on a trip to the Philippines to teach as kind of a mission. And we would talk back and forth we were pen pals. And she made such a huge impact on me. And I thought, wow, she added value to my life in a way that I've never been able to tell her because I was in second grade. And so I thought how cool it would be, to reach out, give a public announcement and say on Facebook, how much she had impacted my life. So look for ways that you can do that for others. We do things like this because I think when you add value to others and you look for ways to give them encouragement, you are genuinely making the world a better place. Getting a challenge pack is not going to be your goal here. Catching your next coach is not going to be your goal here. But the beautiful cycle of the universe is that when you start to pour into others and you show that recognition, it kind of comes back to you. And I'm sure that many of you have seen that. So again, today I want to challenge you to recognize someone on your Facebook wall and maybe copy and paste it in the rock. That would be cool so other people can see what you're doing too, those who have not been on the call. The next thing I want to talk about is calls, events, and trainings. Oh my. So I seriously love going to live events. I love Summit. I love leadership. I love the Success Club trips. This past March when I went to see Maxwell live was so amazing. I love going to the events. I love connecting with my team and other coaches. I love hearing from the top coaches as they share their ups and downs, their successes and failures, what has worked for them, what hasn't worked for them. I love the inspiring stories, and we always have. If you've ever been to Summit, um, or even the Super Saturdays, we really have some great speakers and even coaches just sharing their success story. And so it really does something for me. But all of this stuff is it's worthless if you don't get your butt back home and start putting those things to action, start getting to work and taking what you've learned and taking what's inspired you and using that in building your business. So the event last March with John Maxwell was huge for me. I love being in the room with him, soaking up his wisdom. He is just a kind, gentle, humble man who has failed a lot, and he shares that with us. He has had so much to share with others. His mission is truly to develop leaders, but being in that room wasn't just being in that room and that weekend wasn't what changed me. It wasn't like, I spent a weekend with John Maxwell and all of these other amazing coaches and was like, all right, I'm suddenly a leader. All right, I'm ready to, my business just suddenly grew. No, I had to come home and I was still the same person. I had to revisit the notes that I had taken and plugging into the calls all year, just kind of bringing back some of the things we had learned and learning ways to apply and I can truly say that over the last year, hopefully you guys agree, I have felt myself develop more as a leader. I've seen my team look at me as a leader. I was given the tools. I had pages of notes, which, by the way, Robert actually tossed in the bathtub. I was mortified. I'd come in and set my bag down, and it had all my notes and like books that John Maxwell had signed, and Robert took the whole bag, and dumped it in a bathtub of water. So that was very sad. I did retrieve it though and dried it out, blow dried it. Anyways, nap time nuggets, right? So I could check that weekend off on my list. I could look for the next big event and see where else I could go to get this excitement going, or I could sit down and actually do the work of what I had been poured into me by such a tremendous leader. There is a ton of stuff available to you guys now. The network has grown tremendously, and the leaders have emerged, and so have the ideas and the trainings and the concepts. I mean, social media in general has changed, which gives us new things to learn. And it's a bit overwhelming, even for me. So I'm asking you to step back and look what you're doing each day to grow your business. And when you feel like you're working at it every day and nothing's changing, I need you to really kind of self-evaluate. Is it really that things aren't changing? Or is it just that you're at that beginning stage of getting the momentum rolling and the changes aren't quite visible yet? You can kind of look at it like losing weight. We start this process and we're working out and we're eating well and we've been doing awesome for a week and nothing's happening. We can't see it, we can't feel it, it's not on the scale. And then a month goes by and we're still really doing all the things we're supposed to do every day, and there's a little bit of change, but nobody else is saying anything, and we almost wonder if it's kind of in the back of our mind that we're even making any progress. And then, you do those things for a full year consistently, eating right and exercising, and you look back at a picture of yourself from a year ago and you're like, wow, okay, yes, there is progress there. And it's the same way with our business. And in fact, I'll tell you, every year, I'll look at my income today and I'll be like, I don't think it's really gone up that much since last year. But if I look back at the numbers, yes, it absolutely has tremendously. But it's such a slow, like, trickle. It goes up a little bit and then it'll go down a little bit and then it'll go up a little bit, but it's over a period of time, there is an increase. So you have to have, that's why we want to be tracking what we're doing so we have something to gauge your increase with. Okay. Are you giving yourself a fair amount of grace as you build your business? And what I mean by that is, are you allowing yourself time to have ups and downs and seeing the growth over a pattern of time? Are you getting bogged down in busy work? Again, creating blogs. Are you attending too many calls? Trying to run too many social media networks? Taking too much time to grow your own business? I had a woman come to me. She's actually a consultant for another company, but she came to me and she wanted me to help her start up a blog and figure out how to connect it to Pinterest. And oh, should I start a Facebook page? And I'm like, whoa, it's the same thing I'm going to tell you guys. You need to find where your sweet spot is, spend a month or so developing it and getting the content rolling. And then if you need to add something in, or you just want to, you feel like you like Pinterest and you like taking photos, and then do that. But don't try to come into this business and look at Rebecca and all she has going, because I don't, like, I have a Pinterest page and it's got stuff pinned. I don't have a clue what I'm doing with Pinterest. And so, you got to be careful who you're watching, because you don't want to watch me on Pinterest. It's not going to help you. Um, so it's really not that complex, and I don't want you guys, getting yourself spread so thin. We are literally a business of building and grooming relationships, and that's why we're called network marketing. We are constantly building a network of friends, not so we can get them to join us. I had a woman say to me, again, another company, but whenever I mentioned a lady that lived in the neighborhood, and she went to our church, and she's also a teacher at the school. And I said, I can connect you guys. And she said, yeah, maybe I can get her to join me or something. I thought, oh, and that was like the first response to me. And I know, maybe she didn't mean it that way, but it's not so we can get them. And I know many of you want to be careful. Like you don't want to come across that way, but then it's just adding value to people and helping them, and starting to build those relationships. Really making this about building relationships is not going to come across as getting them, unless you just kind of jump the gun and get a little ahead of yourself, which we get excited sometimes. I've done it before. Lindsay Catarino and I were talking. She's one of the first coaches I signed up almost four years ago. And we were talking about how so many coaches are spending way too much valuable time, trying to attend every call and every webinar and every training. And, there's just very little time spent actually doing what really matters. And that's getting out there and meeting people, talking to people, adding people to your Facebook. So if you want to grow a business, you really have to accept that this is going to take time, years. You're going to have moments when you think that you are done, like you have run out of your list. There is no one else to reach. I think I felt that way at the end of February. I thought I was done. I know that's not true, but that thought always goes through my mind. And I was listening to one of our calls with John Maxwell. And he talks about, when he started writing, he wasn't making any money. He said he wrote books for 12 years before he actually started seeing fruits of his labor. So be willing to do that. I don't think it's going to take you 12 years, but to build Beachbody. But, you have to be willing to, know that what you're doing makes a difference and matters enough to stay consistent with it. All I'm asking you to do is be consistent with the 3 vital behaviors. Unless you just have tons of time on your plate, and I don't think that's anybody on this call, all I want you focusing on is your 3 vital behaviors, and the 4th one of recognition, again, adding value to others. You are entrepreneurs. This is your business. You don't have a boss. I'm not your boss. Your coach isn't your boss. I can't help you to grow this business. I mean, I can offer tools and I can be there and I can be motivating and say you got this, but you really are the one that has to make that decision and put the work in. Back in December, there was a call, one of the calls we did with John Maxwell. He talked about the DNA of entrepreneurs, and one of the things he said was that they work harder than others. And that's just to say that they love their work so much, it really doesn't even feel like work. So let's just be real. Let's be honest. If you want to grow a business, it's going to take hard work. I have made it very clear to my coaches now when I sign them up. I want them to know this is not quick, easy money. It's work. And any of you who have been doing this for a couple of months, you know that it takes time and effort to build those relationships, but it is fun. I mean, I'm not saying it's fun all the time. I have my days too, but what we do is so much fun. It's a lot of work. So um, that's what you guys do. That's why you're on this call. You are willing to put the work and the effort in. We love problems. Entrepreneurs love problems. That sounds kind of funny to say, but how you react to problems is really a determining factor as to how well you're going to do in business. I had a coach quit recently, actually, who she's really backed off for, like, I don't know, 6 months ago or something. When she started to build this business, she had a customer, one of her customers, have issues with customer relations, and I know every now and then we have issues, like they're working on it. But I have to say, of the 5 years I've been in this business, the issues that I have had with customer relations has been just the smallest fraction, and they've always, if I you know they've always fixed the problem. So and that one experience with her one customer, like, seriously broke all trust, and she wasn't willing to push through and push that past that, and so she stopped. She gave up any effort to do that. So your reaction when problems come, because they're going to come no matter where you go, no matter what your business is, you're going to have those problems. I know the grass always seems greener on the other side. You could have a coach that's going to tell you that this has happened to me too. They are going to leave Beachbody to pursue another business. I don't know, maybe selling mascara. But the foundation is still the same. You still have to build your business with integrity and with building relationships with people. And you can't do that. If you can't do that with Beachbody, if you can't do that in your own personal life, you're not going to be able to do it in any other business. Um, I talked to a coach this morning who was asking about, building these relationships. Just going back to the whole concept of, really the foundation of what we do is building relationships. And kind of after talking things through with her a bit and asking some questions, I know hopefully you guys have all heard of FORM: family, occupation, recreation, and message. That's how we kind of build relationships and ask questions with people. And this coach, I think, has a common problem. There's two common problems. Some people don't ever get to the message. They spend all their time getting to know someone and asking questions, and then they never get to the message. And then some people spend all this time getting to know people, or I guess I should say very little time getting to know people, and then pop that message in. It's almost like a checklist. And we don't want this concept of building relationships, like we're literally building one block at a time. I don't want that to become an interview process for you guys, okay? We're going to, it may take a few months to get that message out, get to know these people in a genuine way. That's a topic that we should definitely expound on another call. Entrepreneurs prove what they have what it takes. And that, I think, has been something that has held me through building this business. You get to that level that you just have to prove it. Like, I had to prove it to my husband. I said I was going to do it. I'm going to do it. Like, even when I bought my first program, I just paid $90 that I didn't really want to sacrifice for a program. I'll be darned, I was going to do it. I was going to prove that I could do it. I was either going to prove that it wouldn't work or it would work, but I was going to stick to it. So you have to keep that same mindset when you're building this business. I'm going to prove that this works. It works. People in this business that are doing it and that it works. I have 5 kids, and I don't even know. Like, I am in awe every single night that I have built what I have. But it's not because I've made every single webinar. I have not been on my upline. My upline is Summer Tucker. I have not been on her calls or webinars in probably over a year. And it's not because I don't think that she doesn't have something valuable to say. I think she's built a tremendous business. She has a lot of value to add. But I have to make sure that I'm using my time wisely, because I do have those 5 kids and because I have my own growing business. So some closing thoughts for you guys. I want you to press on in spite of difficulties. That is another characteristic of an entrepreneur. You're going to get sick. You're going to have sick kids. You're going to have nights when you have not gotten any sleep. Like last night, my 3-year-old or 2-year-old had me up at 3 in the morning. The baby got up twice to eat. Like, I don't even know what went on with my 2-year-old, but I haven't had much sleep last night, and I really would have liked to be taking a nap right now. But I'm okay. I have coffee. You're going to have coaches that are upline, downline, crossline, no line, whatever. You're going to have coaches on this team and in this business who will disappoint you. People are human. They make mistakes. Press on. It's not your problem. You step away and you press on. You cannot let that stop you from building this business. I want you to keep in mind, you have coaches and customers under you. If you let one little mishap, one little issue with coach relation, one little thing that some coach says stop you from building your business, you're not just cutting the line for you, you're cutting it for your team, for that one coach, those 2 coaches, those 5 coaches, the 3 customers that you had. You're telling them, I just thought it was good, but it's not really, so I'm done. Sorry, see you later. And then you have all these people. I see it all the time. It really bugs me, but I want you to just be very careful. Press on despite the difficulties. You can find ways to overcome, and I'm here to help you do that. You can go for this opportunity, or you can go for security. Opportunity means that you're going to take risk and you're going to sacrifice. If you want the security, then you won't take the risk for the opportunity and you're going to miss out. I was watching something, and you guys may have seen the YouTube clip or something that was posted on Facebook, but it showed this blank wall where people were posting their regrets. And every single person that posted their regret was things that they didn't do, not things that they did do. So I want you to, guys, I don't want you to miss out on a big opportunity for some small little glitch in life. This is really just such a great way to make an impact on your life, your family's lives, and the lives of so many others around you, including your coaches and your customers. So keep this simple. I know that many of you have kids and jobs and priorities, and you don't have a ton of time to pour into this business. I know that I didn't when I started. I had 3 little ones when I started, and I still don't. I don't want to be glued to my computer. And so I have to be very intentional. I don't know when my baby's going to wake up, especially with a newborn. I think that I have a 3-hour time limit, but you don't know. So you have to make sure that you keep your priorities. What that frog is. If you guys haven't read Eat That Frog, that basically just means taking that one thing that is going to make the greatest impact on your day. It's probably the thing you least want to do, and making sure that you do that the first part of your day. And I meant to prepare you guys to jump in for this and answer me before the call started, but I'm just curious if anyone on the call would be willing to share maybe just a couple of tips or something they're doing that's working that is helping them maximize the use of their time and just keeping things simple. Does anybody want to share something they're doing? I would love it. Yes, I was hoping Mandy would raise her hand.
This is on my wall. It is my Power Hour checklist, and each day when I get up at 5 with my little study hall group, I start at it and I start Xing things off with my dry erase. And some of it's real simple: drink Shakeology, workout. Some of it's, do 2 invites, follow up with 2 people, various stuff. Do the Finish Line Leader app. Update my contact sheet. But why it's working for me is I start that checklist each day, wipe it, cleared, start it again. And I start at 5 in the morning, and then if I'm not productive with my time, maybe I only get 3 things checked off. Then I need to squeeze in some gaps during the day, at nap time, at whenever I can squeeze them in. And guess what? If I don't get my homework done, then guess what I'm doing at 8 when I put the boys to bed? I'm back to this list. So it's really helping me pare down and use my mom gaps during the day to get things done, because if I have to stay up to finish all the checks, I've been doing it, and I've been doing that for about 2 weeks.
That's awesome. And there are various forms. You'll find there a lot of people have made up their own. You might find make up one of your own, but there are various um, lists like this that you can use for the check off. We have the BAT. It's called a BAT, BAT. Oh wait, were you holding up one, Peggy? Your list? No. Manny, I'm just curious. How long, if you were to sit down and focus on that list, how long would it take you to get through everything on there? Just power through it.
Well, if I took off the things like workout, drink Shakeology, read 10 minutes of PD, the kind of like everyday behavior like that, I'd say probably an hour to hour and a half would be my guess.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And your list doesn't have to be what her list is. I mean, your list may literally be workout for 22 minutes, right? Drink your
Mhm.
Shakeology and invite 3 people, or add 3 people to your list. So keep it so simple and doable. And I have told my coaches, and if you want to talk to me or talk to your coach, if you have 30 minutes, ask them, what can I do that's going to make the biggest impact on my business? And you can do it for a month straight, and you may see nothing come of it, but I promise you, if you will do it consistently and be here from a year from now doing that same thing, you're going to see results from it. You just got to be willing to stop looking at the scale, right? All right, guys, anybody else want to share anything, tips that they have, something that's working for them? Anybody? All right. Well, thank you guys. I love this. See, this is perfect. It's working for me time wise. I have more people on my call than I do at night, so I'm happy. I'm going to go take a nap now, though. All right, ladies, have a good evening. I'll post the recording in the group.